with such a big family, is it hard to get the love and attention that you need?
No. And I also like Mark Robert because he does really cool stuff, but also you can learn from him too.
How do you know if something is a bad idea or a good idea when other kids have an idea to try something or do something?
If they say like, okay, I'm going to tell you something, but don't tell our parents, okay?
If you had a chance to meet one of the presidents and ask them about like what their life is like and what their job is like, what president would you want to meet?
The one from the Christian one.
Oh, El Salvador.
Yeah, El
You want to
Salvador.
meet the president of El Salvador?
Yeah.
I would have never even dreamed that you knew anything about him. Welcome to the Fun School Show. Recently, we've had some requests from parents who have kids that are 8, 9, 10 years old who also enjoy watching our show. Lately, we've been featuring interviews with our older kids, but we've been getting requests to hear from one of the younger ones. So today, I'm doing 20 questions with my youngest daughter, Leah Grace Brown. You can say hi.
Yeah. Hi.
So for $5, she agreed to do this and is excited to give you a little window to her world so you can discover what's going on inside the mind of a 9-year-old fun schooler who has 14 older brothers and sisters. What's it really like? We're about to find out. So Leah, go ahead, introduce yourself and choose the first question. Any of these on the table, you can pick.
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Leah, and yeah, I'm gonna be picking questions. So, okay, I think I'm gonna pick this one.
All right. Well, this one gets right to the point. What do you want to be when you grow up, and why?
Well, I want to be a scuba diver when I grow up because I love swimming and I love sea creatures. And I have one fish that lived for 3 years and the others lived for a while too.
All right. So is there anything else that you want to do when you grow up?
Yeah, I'm going to be the president.
You are?
Yeah.
How many years is that going to be from now?
I'm 9 and I have to do, and I'm 35.
Something like that.
Yeah, 35 or something.
So you got quite a few years to get ready for that?
Yeah.
If you were president, what kind of things would you want to change in the world, in our country?
Well, I want to change, like, how people are, like, crossing our borders and stuff, and they're, like, what's it called?
The people that come across the border and do illegal things?
Yeah. Immigrants.
Oh,
yeah.
The illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
How'd you find out about illegal immigrants?
Dad talks about it, like, every day.
So if you were president, you would do something about that because that's a bad situation?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is super interesting. So I bet there are a lot of people who would vote for you if that doesn't get cleaned up in the next 30 years or so.
Yes.
All right. Let's pick another question.
All right. I think we should do this one. Unless we just did that one.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, actually, I do. I have 1 fish, 3 cats, horses, sheep, goats, and chickens, and geese, and turkeys, and a lot of other animals.
Okay,
and dogs, too.
What's your favorite?
I love the cats. I really love the cats. And then I love the fish. And then I really love the turkeys. They're just so funny.
Yeah, we had a turkey looking in here in the window just a minute ago.
Yeah, it was so funny.
What is it that you love so much about fish? Ever since you were little, you've just been crazy about fish.
Well,
I can't hold them or play with them or cuddle. So what's so great about fish?
Well, they're really beautiful, and it's just crazy how they swim, and it's just like amazing how they can just like breathe underwater, and it's crazy how they lay eggs, and they're just really beautiful. and I love them.
So it's a real privilege to have one of your own.
Yes.
What kind of fish do you have?
A betta fish.
What's it look like?
It has a really big fins, and it is red, bright red, dark red, and it is small, but its fins are really big, so it makes them look really big. And
does it have a name?
Oh, yeah. Its name is Cherry.
Cherry. Okay.
Yeah.
Pick another question. Pick it quick.
Okay. I'll do this
The big one?
Yes.
The big one. How do you know if something is a bad idea or a good idea when other kids have an idea to try something or do something?
Well, if they say like, okay, I'm going to tell you something, but don't tell our parents, okay? Like, that would be a bad idea because they don't want the parents to know. That means it's not good. And if it's good, they'll be like, can you go tell mom and dad? Or they won't say.
So they wouldn't want to keep it a secret if it was something that was okay to do?
Yes.
Okay. How else would you know that something is a bad idea?
Well, if they tell me, or if they just say something bad that I know that's bad, I'd know if it's a bad idea.
So let's have an example. What if they say they want to maybe take a walk to a friend's house?
I mean, I'd just tell my mom and dad and just say, did you guys say that she could go to her friend's house?
Okay, so you really think talking to your parents about any decision is going to help you figure out if it's a good or a bad one?
Yeah.
What if you're just playing outside with the friends and they say, hey, let's chase the cows? How do you know if that's a good or a bad idea? Or what if they want to let all the chickens out, or if they want to climb to the top of the highest tree? Something like that, where you're just playing for fun with your friends.
I know that climbing to the top of the tree would be really dangerous. Like, you could fall and, hurt yourself. And then also, if they're, asking to chase the cows, that would be a bad idea because the cows are not always nice, and they sometimes get scared to, try to hurt people. So I know it was a bad idea. So I'd tell them you shouldn't do that, or just tell someone.
What if they want to let the chickens out?
I'd say that's a bad idea.
And why would that be a bad idea?
The chickens could get out, and if Thriller was out, Thriller would chase the chickens around, and the chickens would die.
Okay, so different ways you can tell is if something's safe, or if they're making it a secret, or if they don't want to talk to parents. Okay, good. Sounds like you know how to make good choices. Let's pick another one.
Pick this one.
If you could do anything in the world tomorrow, what would it be?
I mean, be the president, be a scuba diver, and go live in Hawaii and go to the beach and swim.
All right.
And be friends with sharks, too. I love sharks.
Okay, next question.
All right, I'll do this one.
What's your favorite YouTube channel and why?
Well, I love Mr. Beast because they do really fun and crazy, things, like elephant toothpaste. They make things blow up, and it's just really cool. And then I also like Mark Robert because he does really cool stuff, but also you can learn from him, too. So, yeah.
Okay, nice. Pick another question.
Right. This little one.
How many kids do you want in the future and why?
I mean, I want 10 kids because they're really nice, and I love kids. And they're just so fun, and they're so creative, and they just always draw pictures for you and do a bunch of fun stuff and ask you for stuff and ask you questions, and it's just really cute.
Yeah, so you think being a mom would be a lot of fun?
Yes.
You know they turn into teenagers, right? What do you think about that?
I mean, I love teenagers, too. Because it's really funny when they start doing funny, stuff like sneaking into, your pantry or something. And just do really funny stuff. And you're just like, oh my goodness.
Because teenagers eat so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you're the 10th kid and you want 10 kids.
Yes.
So what were you thinking when you picked the number 10?
I mean, I don't know. I just loved kids, and I knew that my mom had 10 kids, and she did a good job with all those kids. So I just thought, well, if my mom can do it, I can probably do it too.
All right, that's amazing. What a compliment. Okay, let's pick another question.
All right, I'll do this one.
What is wrong with the world?
Immigrants.
Like the
and-
illegal kind who sneak in?
Yeah.
Because your sister-in-law, Rita, she's an immigrant, but she came with all the documents and got permission and learned English.
Yes.
So you're talking about the immigrants that are coming over the border, sneaking in
Yes.
and doing bad things.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah.
Because when we went on our trip, there was just we were just at the park having a good time eating. And then these immigrants just came and they were fighting and chasing each other with sticks. And they were just screaming. So then we all had to go in our car and drive somewhere else to eat our food.
Yeah. That happened.
It was really bad.
Yeah, it was. So you had some personal experience with the illegal immigrants coming into the park and doing something scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's pick another question. What are your favorite chores around the house and what are your least favorite chores?
My least favorite chore is loading the dishwasher because it's just so boring and it takes so long.
Okay, and what's your favorite chore?
Favorite? Sweeping, setting the table, wiping counters, and cleaning the bathrooms. I don't know why.
You like those jobs?
Just
so if you had a choice, be the person who loads the dishwasher or be the person that sweeps, sets the table, wipes the counters, and cleans the bathroom, you would choose all 4 of those other things instead of loading the dishwasher?
Yes.
All right, it's a deal. You can do those jobs. All right, let's pick another question.
All right.
Oh, okay, so we did favorite chores, least favorite chores. Okay, what's next?
I'll do this one.
Ooh, this is a good one. You have a lot of experience seeing what the result is when this happens. Should kids have their own cell phones? Why or why not?
They should not, because if they have their own cell phones, you don't know what they can do with that thing. And they'll just text boys, or they'll be good and not text boys, but yeah, they'll just be
So
very
parents
good
can't
with it.
pay attention very close to what they're doing.
Yeah.
So how old do you think someone should be before they have their own phone?
16 at least.
Yeah. Do you think 16-year-olds are ready to be mature enough to start making good choices?
Yes.
So do you have any siblings that are 16 or older?
24, and I also have one that's 18, 17, 15.
So you think that when they hit about 16, they're getting mature enough to have a phone?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of rules would you make for your kids when they have phones?
I'd make them have bubble talk so they can't text crazy things. And if they want to text something specific that the bubble talk won't let them say, I'll just go to them and say, what do you want to say? And then I'll just text it for them. And then I'll change it back to bubble talk.
Oh, okay. So I'm guessing you must have friends with bubble talk.
Yes.
Yeah. How old is your friend?
I have a lot of 9-year-old friends. 10, 12, 13.
Do a lot of them have phones?
Yeah, 3 of them do.
And do they have bubble talk?
Yeah. 2 of them do, 1 of them don't.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. So you're already starting to think about how to make kids safe on phones when you have your 10 kids.
Yes.
I bet the world will be really kind of different and have a lot of new technologies when you have your kids, because that's going to be 15, 20 years in the future.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what's world's going to be like in 15 or 20
Probably
years?
flying Teslas, I'm just guessing, but
Flying Teslas?
yeah.
Yeah. Do you want one?
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
do.
So flying Teslas, you think that the future is a future of flying Teslas. What else do you think will be in the future?
Floating chairs.
Yeah.
And books that you can open, but they're they're electric books, so like you can open them and then it's just go like this.
Okay.
But then you can click a button where it just rates it for you.
Okay.
Something like that.
So like you've seen a Kindle and it's like a tablet, but you're thinking a book that you can actually open and close that has words in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's pick another question.
All right. I'll pick this one.
What are your hobbies?
I like drawing. I'm not a scuba diver yet, but when I am, that will be my hobby. And I like painting, and I read sometimes too, but I'm not that good at it.
But you enjoy reading, right?
Yeah.
You really love it?
Yeah, it's really fun.
What kind of books can you read?
I mean, I can read the Bible.
Well, you can read the Bible. So do you read the Bible yourself sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes. Like I read a couple verses.
And I know that you really liked reading Pete the Cat when you were younger. Do you still like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the book where you can feel the thing, like you open it
is that
and then
my
you can feel
elephant
it.
or is that my fox?
Is that my fox or is that my elephant?
Is that one reason why you're looking forward to having kids so that you can read those kinds of books with them?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
You want to pick another question?
Here.
If you could fix any problem in the world, what would you do?
Making the bad immigrants like not cross our border or whatever.
So they don't come in the park and start fighting and scare you. Is that one of the scariest things that you can remember happening in your life? Like, have you had a lot of scary things happen?
If roller coasters count as scary, then yes.
But have you had other things happen in your life where, like, you felt like you weren't safe, like you felt when the immigrants started fighting in the park?
Yeah, and like almost dying and falling off a balcony in Hawaii.
Okay. So a few times now you've brought up the fact that you want to do something about these people crossing over our border without permission because you actually had an experience where you were just having a picnic in the park and a group of guys just started fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was scary. And what did we have to do?
We had to go in the car and drive
Really
somewhere
fast.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were really close to where that was happening.
Yes.
That is an issue, isn't it? So let's pick another question.
Next big one.
Ooh, a big one. You have 14 older siblings, and 5 of them are adopted from Ukraine. And they were adopted when you were only 3 years old. So pretty much everything you remember was having 14 siblings, right?
Yeah.
You don't remember a whole lot before that.
I mean, I do remember a couple things of when we adopted them. Like when Dad put us all online or something and said, okay, so we're going to adopt kids, something. He's like, is that okay or something?
So you remember when Dad gathered all the kids and said, we want to adopt these kids and asked every single one of you guys if you wanted to do it?
Yeah.
And do you remember saying yes?
Yeah, I do, I think.
Everyone in the family said yes, they want to do it. So you were only 2 years old and you remember that happening when we announced that we wanted to adopt.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So my question is, with such a big family, is it hard to get the love and attention that you need?
No.
Why not? People always tell me, you have so many kids. How can you make sure they all get enough love and attention?
Because there's so many kids, so they're all just buzzing around you like, hey, hi.
So you get love and attention from your siblings and from your parents?
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't feel like it's boring and you never get attention and you don't have enough love?
No.
Never had that thought?
No.
No.
Not at
I've
all.
always felt like there's a lot of love in our family too. That's one thing I just love about having a big family is
Yeah.
it's so much fun, so much love. It's like a party every day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. So, when I had 4 kids, I told a friend of mine that I was thinking about having another baby. And she was like, you will never be able to make sure they get enough love and attention if you have more than 4 kids. But here you are, my 15th kid, and you have no problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not.
Has there ever been a time when like you were like the only kid in the house and did that get boring? Or is there always somebody?
I mean, yeah, it's happened before.
When everybody went somewhere
Yeah,
and you
like-
stayed home?
Yeah, when I was like either sick or I just didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what did you do in those times when it was just you and me and a couple of older kids who weren't paying attention to you?
I went outside, rode my bike, go to the zip line, even though I can't go up without someone. And I go to the swings, go to the barn, draw.
So you had no trouble entertaining yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's pick another one.
All right, I'll pick this one right.
So what's your favorite thing to do?
I love riding my bike because it's so fun.
You just had a giant bike riding adventure, didn't you?
Yes.
Could you tell us about the giant bike riding adventure?
Well, when we went to Amsterdam, we rode bikes everywhere and it was really fun. And then when we went to Austria, we rode bikes, but everyone else got e-bikes. And I just had a normal bike, so I was just like pedaling. And then my dad decided to tie a rope to my bike and his bike. And
How did that work out?
it was good, but then I decided to just keep going myself.
Do you remember
Yeah.
how far you rode?
Like 16 miles, 4 hours. I don't know.
60 miles.
Oh,
We
yeah.
rode 60 miles over 3 days. From village to village to village. It was
Yeah.
so much fun. And then you rode bikes for 5 days all around the Netherlands.
Yeah.
So in Indiana, you can only ride a bike on our property.
Yes.
And thankfully, we have a really long driveway.
Yeah.
But why can't you ride a bike around the town and the city and the country here in Indiana like we did in Europe?
Well, it's not very safe here. Like, someone could just come out of nowhere and kidnap you. Or, yeah, it's just not safe.
Oh, like if you were
And
riding
there's
alone.
not a lot of
Sidewalks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably more likely that you could have an accident with a car here because you're riding in
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think people should make it more like safe to ride bikes around here?
Yeah.
Would
They
that
should.
be good? Would
They
that
should
really
get
help?
bike paths like Amsterdam.
Right.
That would be
So
the best.
if you were able to be in charge, would you make bike paths?
Yes.
Yeah,
All my heart.
with all your heart.
And I'm
So,
riding on them every single day.
and why is it good for cities and towns and country to have bike paths?
Because everybody gets a bunch of exercise and it's really fun to ride bikes.
Yeah. And you can get places
Yeah.
with a bike.
You can get places.
Yeah.
And
You don't have to be
cars
old enough
illegal.
to drive a car, right?
Yeah.
You can ride a bike at any age.
Yeah.
So that would be very good.
Yeah.
All right.
This one here.
What do you do when you homeschool?
I mean, my mom makes books, so I do her books. Like, I color in her books that she makes and do all the little, what's it called? Lessons and stuff.
Games.
Yeah, games. And I read. I read a bunch of books from my library. And Samara, my friend, sister, she reads books to me sometimes too. And yeah.
And do you ever use like computers for school?
Yeah, and then I have Prodigy. I just do like math on there, but also you can like walk around and it's really fun. And then Always Ice Cream. They have little videos that teach you stuff.
So you use Prodigy, Always Ice Cream.
Yeah.
What other things do you use on your computer?
I mean, I have PBS Kids.
And is that something you can use to learn with?
Yeah, because I can watch Wildcats, and and then I can learn a lot about animals and stuff. This one.
What places have you traveled to?
Amsterdam. We lived in Hawaii, Ukraine, Greece, Italy, South Carolina. That's where I was born. And Austria.
And Florida.
And Texas. And
that's a lot of places. So what was your favorite of all those places? You are a kid who has been to other parts of the world. Not a lot of kids get to do that. So what was one of your favorite places and why?
Oh, yeah, and New York. My least favorite was New York.
New York City?
Stinks so bad.
It did.
Yeah.
So going to New York City was kind of a disappointment.
Yeah. And then my favorite was Greece and Austria. Because Greece, it had all those beautiful white houses, and there was a bunch of cats, and there was a beach. And Austria, I loved it because it was just so beautiful, and there was the river, I forgot what it's called.
The Danube River.
Yeah, the Danube River. We rode bikes there, and there was this beautiful, like a bunch of tiny little waterfalls, and it was so cute. So me and my sister Ember climbed up the rocks next to the little waterfalls. We finally almost got to the top. Not almost, but we got to this really pretty part where there was like trees up, and then there was this big little pool, and it was so beautiful.
Wow.
And it was just amazing.
That is an amazing experience. You know, when I was thinking about having a big family, I was talking to my friends, and I was like, how many kids do you want to have? And you know what a lot of them said? I don't want kids. Why would I ever want to bring a child into this horrible world? So I have a question for you that's not here. Now that you've been in this world for like 9 years and you've kind of experienced it,
yeah,
the most horrible thing you ever experienced was probably when you were having a picnic in the park and those immigrants came and started fighting, right?
Oh, yeah, and riding roller coasters.
And riding roller coasters, that was your choice. But you've had so many beautiful, wonderful, amazing experiences in our family and in seeing the world, reading books. So what would you say to a person that says the world's not good enough for their kids?
I'd just say that's not true, because it's amazing, it's beautiful, and your kids would love it.
Yeah. So you think that they just need to choose the best parts of the world to show their kids? And so if somebody told you that you shouldn't have kids because the world is so evil, what would you say to them?
I'd say it's actually not that evil. Like, sure, there's like immigrants and a couple like bad things, but there's also a lot of good things that.
A lot of good things to see and do and experience. Yeah. What are you good at?
I'm good at riding bikes. I'm good at taking care of fish, and I'm good at drawing some things. I'm good at drawing horses, actually.
Yeah.
And then I'm good at drawing cats.
So what's something that you're not good at yet, but you do want to get better at?
Scuba diving.
Yeah.
Being the president.
Yeah. What are you going to do to get good at those things? How do you practice?
Read books, watch videos, ask questions.
If you had a chance to meet one of the presidents and ask them about like what their life is like and what their job is like, what president would you want to meet?
The one from the Christian one.
Oh, El Salvador.
Yeah, El
You want to
Salvador.
meet the president of El Salvador.
Yeah.
I would have never even dreamed that you knew anything about him. Tell me about the president of El Salvador.
I mean, he's a Christian, and I watched a whole video about it with you.
Oh, that's right. So what did he do that was different?
There was a bunch of gangs that were like kidnapping people and like killing people, and he like stopped the gangs and stuff.
What did he do with those gang members?
Put them in jail.
So this is really interesting because he had a lot of bad people in his country that were doing bad things.
Yes.
And a lot of people are coming into our country and doing bad things.
Yes.
So you're inspired by the president of El Salvador because he looked at that bad situation and he got those people and he put them in jail and he made his country safe.
Yes.
And so what question would you ask him if you were able to do an interview with him?
I'd ask him how he does all that. I'd ask him for advice. I'd ask him to help me, like, learn how to be the president.
So would you like to do like an internship or something in his administration? That would be cool. You'd like to go to El Salvador and spend some time learning all about what he does?
Yeah.
Maybe you will. So, President of El Salvador, we have a young lady here who would like to learn from you.
Yes.
So, if you're watching, put a little comment in the comment area and we'll come visit. What do you do when you need extra money?
Do jobs for you. Yeah.
Have you ever made anything to sell?
Oh, yeah. And I can, like, when we're doing little events, I can sell hot chocolate, apple cider, and some little drinks.
So you've done that kind of thing before. So you had like a apple cider stand.
Yes.
How much money did you make?
$150.
Wow. What'd you buy?
I don't even remember.
Did you use it to buy like birthday presents for people?
Oh, yeah. I used it to buy birthday presents.
You did something like that.
For Christmas, and I bought a Game Boy.
Do you go to a homeschool co-op? Or does a homeschool co-op come to you? Tell us about the homeschool co-op.
Well, yeah, a bunch of people come to our house, and they just, like, have fun, play around, go to little groups, and, like, learn about stuff. And they, like, do a bunch of really fun stuff, and they, like, all run around, climb trees, and go to the barn, paint, draw, and see the horses, do horse lessons, and they all just love it a lot.
Have you made friends that way?
Yeah, I have. I have a friend named Ava and Ellie. They are both really nice, and they're my best friends. And then I did have friends that used to come to co-op, like Zoe, Gia, and then also Eleanor, Reagan, and Lane.
So I have a question for you. When I was deciding that I wanted to homeschool my kids, a lot of people told me it was a bad idea. You know why? They said, because your kids will be so lonely and they'll have a hard time making friends. What do you want to say to the people who are worried that kids don't get a chance to make friends if they homeschool?
I mean, there's many events that you can bring them to, and you can, like, make friends with people, and if they have kids, you can, like, bring the kids over and let them play and have sleepovers. And
so there's ways to make friends besides going to school?
Yeah, and church.
Oh, yeah, you could go to church and make friends too, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever wished you could go to school?
No.
No. What do you think school would be like?
Boring.
Yeah. Because you have a few friends who do go to school and they say it's boring.
Yeah. But they say they do make a lot of friends there too.
Yeah.
And a lot of them say it's fun too.
Yeah.
I don't believe them.
Okay. There's only 3 more questions. Pick one.
All right. I'll pick this one.
Are you having fun doing this interview?
Yeah.
Why should you eat healthy food?
Because it's really healthy. It will make you big, strong, and tall, and it will make your eyes beautiful, and it's good for your eyes, and it's good for your teeth.
Okay, how do you know if a food is healthy or not healthy?
There's ingredients. You can look at the ingredients, and also if it tastes like really sweet and sugary, it's probably
not good.
not good.
What if it's an apple or a cherry? That's sweet.
Yeah, but well,
But God made the apple and the cherry.
yeah. Yes.
So foods like a cookie or a cherry, which one's healthiest?
Cherries.
Ramen noodles or a steak?
Steak.
An apple pie or a carrot?
Carrot.
A pumpkin pie or a donut?
Pumpkin pie.
Chicken from the farm or chicken from the factory?
Chicken from the farm.
Okay, why?
Because they're healthier, and who knows what they put on that chicken.
In the factory?
Like,
yeah.
what if they just go,
Okay. All right, what are your favorite books?
Pete the Cat, Little House on the Prairie.
What's the biggest, thickest, fattest book you ever read?
Bible.
Yeah. And then there was another big, thick book you wanted to read that we read together. Do you remember? It was about somebody who made Teslas.
Oh, Elon Musk.
Okay. You loved that book.
Yeah.
What did you love so much about that giant book about Elon Musk?
I mean, how funny it was and crazy, and how they kept having ideas to make like video game arcades.
So what happened when Elon Musk was a teenager and he wanted to make that video game place?
People said that they can't do it because they're not old enough, and they have to have be older than 17 or something.
Yeah. And so they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you think that impacted his life when the government said, no, you can't do that?
I mean, it was good.
Well, was
really
it good?
Because if he did that video game thing, then Teslas wouldn't be here.
Do you think he'd just still be running a video game arcade in South Africa and he would have never come to America and invented Teslas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we have our very last question.
All right.
What jobs do your parents do?
Make books.
We make books?
Make books. Sell them. And then if podcasts count as jobs, then
we make podcasts.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you guys for joining us today. I hope you had a good time getting to know my daughter, Leah, the 15th kid. You get to hear a little bit about her life, her dreams, what she enjoys doing.
Yes.
So have your kids watch this podcast and share in the comments if your kids have anything in common with my daughter, Leah.
Yeah.
And what was your favorite part of this interview? I think one of the most interesting things to me is when I asked her if she could meet any president and ask advice. I thought she was going to say George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Donald Trump, but she chose the president of El Salvador. Super interesting. I love that. Leah, thank you for joining us, and you definitely earned $5. You did such a good job. I'm going to give you 10.
Yes. Okay, bye.
Bye. Be sure to like this, share this, and drop any questions in the comments. And would you like me to interview any of our other kids? There's 14 others, and maybe they'd be willing to come on the show too.
Say Ember.
Yes. Leah says, say Ember. Ember is our 11-year-old, and she is very different from Leah.
Yes.
Isn't she? Yeah. All right. See you next time.
Bye.